Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 is out and it's selling very well. In fact, it's selling better than all previous iterations of Warhammer video games combined. I even want to buy a copy, but I'm also on the dilemma of not wanting to support recent events with Games Workshop's stupid decisions. Oh well, first world problem.
Revenue for each remains undisclosed, but Van Drunen previously calculated that there were 29 Warhammer 40k games on sale prior to the launch of Space Marines 2. He only mentioned that the best performing project was Snowprint Studios' mobile strategy game Tactitious, which made $35 million before platform fees and taxes.
Apple getting their big cut.
This means despite only being available on the market for 1 week since its advanced access launch on September 5th, Space Marines 2 has already generated 1.87 times ahead of the 2023 revenue for all other 40k titles.
$202 million in 1 week. All the other titles, around $100 million or so.
The success of Saber Interactive's third-person shooter could drive Games Workshop video game expansion, especially as the company has also stated taking its licensing business more seriously.
That's mainly because Warhammer has been doing a lot of stuff that's been turning off the tabletop gamers the last few years. So they got to really diversify their income, and they figure video games is the way to go. Don't worry, kids. Female Space Marines. Lore be damned. Give me the female custody, says Amazon. Ironically, what's more to say? It's doing great, fantastic. Well, apparently, the CEO of Saber supposedly left a quote on an Asmongold video.
Because YouTube pushes them. Hey, CEO of Saber here, love your videos. When we signed a deal to make Space Marine 2, all I wanted was a throwback game. We had a chance to work on something which by its nature was old school. I can't even comprehend many of the current games that we play these days. They're too complex and too much of an investment. We worked on Halo back in the day, and that game could be distilled down to the simplest of shooting loops. But it was entirely addicting. That is what we wanted to recapture. I hope that games like Space Marine 2 and Wukong are the start of a reversion to a time when games were simple, about fun, and immersive. I spent some time as a chief operating officer ambassador, and I saw games that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. We just want to do some glory kills and get the heart rate up a little. For me, that is what games should be about.
Ironically, this one message was abhorrent. It was terrible. And if that wasn't bad enough, the creative director chimed in too.
Creative director of the game here. I wrote Space Marine 2, along with Craig Sherman, Randy Bell, Matthew, yada yada yada. Hearing everything you have to say about the story and the characters resonates so strongly with our actual approach. It's great to hear you calling out the exact things that we intentionally focused on. It was 4.5 years of intense work and passion, and watching videos like this made it all worth it.
IGN quickly swooped in to put out an article.
Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 developer Saber Interactive won't say whether or not a controversial YouTube comment is from the CEO.
Maybe I'm blind, I've lost my mind, and the Wutan flu has removed my ability to think critically. But I can't recall seeing anything controversial here. The dude literally just said, oh, we want games to be fun again. There's no messaging. The message is joy and jubilation.
Kill, maim, burn, blood for the blood god!
And somehow that was controversy. I guess we need to focus on more female Space Marines, which I think is actually in the game.
Saber Interactive is declining to say whether a YouTube comment circulating on social media, which among other things says that modern games are too complex and too much investment, and that there are overblown attempts at messaging and imposing morals on gamers. It's from the CEO.
I guess in Spider-Man 2, when they stopped me from trying to stop Kraven the Hunter or the symbiote, to take time out of my day to make sure that the gay kids had a wonderful prom where they could ask each other out, dance, and eat cake, wasn't subliminal messaging or preaching to me at all. It was just fun game mechanics that I couldn't opt out of.
This also led to, I guess, other game developers being bothered. Is this guy actually a game developer? Dell Walker.
Yo, Saber Games, did Matthew Crunch
I probably got his name wrong. I don't care.
really write this or someone impersonating him?
Really? This is the big issue of the day? Oh my god. Oh my god.
If Saber doesn't issue a response, then that is a response.
Good. I hope he said it. And when he was saying it, I hope he was driving a V12 engine car and he was smoking cigarettes and blowing them into the atmosphere like this, right? And as he's driving, he's throwing Wendy's and McDonald's packages into the woods so that a small animal could eat it and drop dead. What do you think of that, huh? I'm going full villain. The mask is off. Like I said, that's the response. Who cares about this? Jesus Christ. Why is everything so gay? Everything. Oh, he wants games to be fun and not have sweet baby ink bullshit. What an animal. Well, whenever pointless bullshit rears its ugly head, you know Kotaku has to get in the mix. One of their journalists, Ethan Gretsch, I don't know.
I asked Saber for a comment on if this really is Matt's account or not, since it reads like an anti-woke crusade slop, but haven't heard back yet. The account was only created in May, and the bio reads generic male of sorts.
How this man extrapolated anti-woke crusader slop from him just saying games are a little, let's read it directly, they are too complex and too much of an investment of time. And I quote, the start of a reversion to a time when games were simply about fun and immersion. I saw games that made me want to cry with their overblown attempts at messaging or imposing morals on gamers. How is that anti-woke crusader slot when the guy just goes, it isn't our job to preach to people. We're supposed to entertain them. So we just wanted to make a game that was fun. This is what you're dealing with in gaming journalism. And now I understand why people hate them so much. Needless to say, little dude got roasted in his own timeline. Probably not him, but I agree with the statement regardless. Too many games are absolutely trying to impose their morals on the gamers, usually at the detriment of the game and the storyline. Whoa, beyond. Are you telling me that today's video from Dragon Age about transitioning scars didn't tickle your funny bone?
But he, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary. Love that. Love the inclusivity. Top surgery scars are also included in this for all of our trans and non-binary rooks out there. I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented.
Can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving?
Reading a paragraph that essentially says games should be immersive and fun as anti-woke crusader slop is certainly a take.
Exactly, Time Trial. That's what we're dealing with as gamers today. God forbid you want to sit and play Space Marines and kill Xenomorph without hearing any stupid stuff or anything that doesn't even belong in the world of Warhammer. You're a bigot. I'll tell you this right now. BioWare is going to die when Dragon Age drops. Nobody wants that, except for like 1,000 people. 50,000 at best. More comments. Ew. That's disappointing from Saber, Fortnite guy. This dude's whole Twitter page is promoting his YouTube channel no one cares about. If you look at any more comments replying to this dude, the vast majority are people like, what do you care about this message? It doesn't matter. He has a point. Where's the issue here? Don't worry, he put out an article. Why a Space Marine 2 executive's YouTube comment became a lightning rod. Sure, it's a lightning rod. If you're stuffing yourself with hormones, it's a lightning rod. If you're willing to vote for someone simply because of their race and gender, the comment he made was a lightning rod. As best I could put it. Get this out of my face. I might just buy the game anyway. Despite being displeased with Games Workshop itself, I want to support games like this. I want to support games where it's just about having fun, which is what it's supposed to be. It's a hobby. You're supposed to enjoy it.